If you're a living, breathing human with a heart that's pumping blood throughout your body, in your chest, then chances are very, very high that good old Morbius has launched on your neck once or twice this year. Then there's a good chance that good old Morbius over here has taken a bite out of your neck and therefore your heart. As the absolute peak of cinema, the film Morbius, with Morbius fever sweeping the nation, I thought it'd be the perfect time to head on over to the peak of film criticism websites, Rotten Tomatoes themselves, and find out what the people believe about this absolute masterpiece of cinema. Because despite what you may see, this is Morb than meets the eye. Oh my god, it's not a good sign, but you know what? People have been wrong. It's okay for 256 people to be wrong when we have over 5,000 verified Morb heads out there telling the truth. Greatest movie of all time. I morb the whole way through when I watch it. Tristan GB Morbin. Alright, we have a 5-star review. If this doesn't prove to you that Morbius is hashtag Morbius sweeping the nation, I don't know what will. John J says, my wife left me. Good start. Took the kids and the dog too, but the one thing she forgot to take was my ticket to the genre-defining, mind-bending drama that is Morbius 2022. To say that the movie changed my life is an understatement. This dude, put your head in John's shoes. He just lost his wife, kids, and the dog. But he's like, yo, I had Morbius. I had light at the end of the tunnel. One small step for Morb, one giant leap for Morbkind. Do you guys remember when Dr. Michael Morbius said that? I had goosebumps. He was speaking it directly into this guy's ear and healing his wounded heart. 500 out of 10. Michael Morbius is like the dad. Thank you. Thank you. Still miss the dog, though. Oh, my God. Wait, there's more? Show more. There's no more. Show less. I don't know why it said show more. Great review, honestly. So sometimes, every now and again, you'll see a person like Michael C. who just doesn't know what they're talking about. Like 1 star, that's wrong. Morbius doesn't have a screenplay. Disagree. It has one of the best screenplays of all time. So much as a collection of cliches strung together for 100 minutes. This dull and dreary Marvel Comics adaptation has no life in it whatsoever. Well, I can tell you that it has no life because Dr. Michael Morbius is a vampire, and vampires aren't technically alive, so I have to agree with that statement. I'll give you that one. The most movie to ever movie, says Haley. Can't believe I got the chance to experience this breathtaking, groundbreaking, miraculous, jaw-dropping, heart-stopping, sensational, incomprehensible, unthinkable, portentous, I don't know what that word means, but bewitching, mind-boggling movie. Wow. Couldn't have said it better myself, even if I read it. Well said. Sometimes when I'm thinking about Morbius and I'm like morbing out to myself, I just remember that Morbius is the movie ever. If you're a Morb head, this is a must-watch Morbin time. I completely agree. When I was in the theaters with my mother and girlfriend while seeing the movie Morbius, I could not stop thinking about how much of a Morbin time I was having. It was the best. What are you talking about? Nobody's doing that. You're cringe, honestly. It is a fine time, and it harkens to vampire actions from the 90s. We'll take that, honestly. That's, you're beginning your steps to becoming a Morb head. Just a couple more watches, and you'll be morbing out for sure with the rest of us. Dr. Michael Morbius is a refreshing take on these other bland, tasteless films like stupid Infinity War or Avengers Endgame. Morbius sweeps no problem, dude. You didn't hear me complain about Morbius, right? I complained about the new Doctor Strange, but not Morbius, because Dr. Michael Morbius doesn't miss. He always diagnoses you correctly. If I could give it Morbillion out of 5, I would, but these critics don't understand true art. I will watch Morbius 10 more billion times. I salute you, Lucas. You are literally what I aspire to be every single day that I wake up. You are the opposite of cringe. Look, even if you're not a total Morb head, you can still enjoy it just like Richard, right? Like, you just want a silly film where a vampire fights Doctor Who. If you want that, it's here. If you want Morbin out saying his catchphrase, it's Morbin time, and fighting an epic battle to save life and limb so he can do the suck, then you have that here. If you want a thrilling sci-fi adventure where morbing is just scratching the surface of what you'll get, then you have that here. You have everything here, including but not limited to shirtless Jared Leto. See, this is a trick question, right? He says, I'm getting hungry, you wouldn't like me when I'm hungry. He's quoting Dr. Michael Morbius in the interrogation scene of the movie Morbius. He says he then turned off the movie and left to do something better with my time. Do something better with my time. This is what I have a problem with. There's nothing that you could be doing better with your time. We only have a more billion minutes on this earth, and you need to spend at least 1 more billion of those minutes watching the film Morbius. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. Joe, he says, life-changing, inspiring, made me a better person. I agree, fully agree. I think all of us can aspire to be a more billion parts of a better person by watching the film Morbius in theaters. Some good action sequences. I think I've read enough, honestly. Oh, Michael Morbius himself? Could this be Michael Morbius? Morbed out with 6 others. This is sounding like Morbius. Loved it when Michael Morbius did the Morbius and morbed the other guy. Me too, I love that part. Too bad Michael Morbius didn't go more bonkers as much as I thought he would. Best movie of all movies. I remember seeing the trailer for Dr. Michael Morbius featuring Jared Cheeto playing in the hit movie Morbius featuring Morbius, including Michael Morbius, as Morbius being played by Jared who plays Morbius from the hit movie, which stars Jared Leto, that's true, who plays as Dr. Michael Morbius in the movie Morbius. There's more though. It goes to, oh my god. Even though I received this product for free from the company, that's just exactly what Morbius would do for people. From the company Morbius, by the way, I would like to say that it was pretty Morbius. Now on to the negatives. Firstly, there was not enough Morbius. I can agree with that. Maybe a little bit more Morbius would have helped the movie Morbius. Featuring Morbius from the hit movie Morbius, starring Jared Leto in the movie Morbius, with the character Michael Morbius, featuring Jared Cheeto, playing in the hit movie Morbius, featuring Morbius, including Michael Morbius as Morbius, being played by the Jared Leto. Oh my god. Summary, not enough Morbius, but I can agree, but I can also disagree. There's plenty of Morbius. There's plenty of Morb to go around, don't worry. Made me cream, OMG. Everyone at school watched it, and I cried when Morbius said it's Morbin time. Same, man. I would give up my firstborn to experience him saying it's Morbin time, just one Morbin time in the theaters, I mean. As it is so inspirational, my disabled brother walked for the first time too. Oh my god. Inspiring stuff, honestly. We need more movies like Morbius. That way more diseases can be cured, because that's really what the movie's about. It's about overcoming disabilities. This is the best movie I've ever seen, says Josh T. I've watched it a more billion times. It is up there with Velocipaster for my favorite movie. If you don't know about the hit movie Velocipaster, let me just... how do you spell that? Velocipaster. It's like this. So this is the movie Velocipaster. In it, you have a velociraptor who is also a pastor, and he is a man of the claw, and he fights ninjas. The memory is a bit foggy because of the morb fever, but it is also a good movie, so I have to agree. This movie cured my cancer. Hashtag Morbius sweep. There you have it, folks. Do you need any more convincing? Morbi will watch continuously until it's off the theaters, then I will stream continuously forever. Congratulations, Morbius, Dr. Michael Morbius, you've just provided Samuel L., possibly Jackson, with a new career and a new passion and a new lease on life. What more could we ask for? Sometimes you don't need a very lengthy, wordy review. Sometimes all you need is for Gabriel to tell you that they've seen it 100 times. It's Morbin time. It's Morbin time! I just had to say it twice. It felt so good. Potentially another real Dr. Michael Morbius. Peak cinema, by far the best movie ever made. Jared Leto, aka, also known as, thanks for explaining that, Morbius, said, it's Morbin time. I love this movie with a passion. Fun fact, this movie made $7 more billion. That's true. As you can see, I googled the highest grossing movie of all time, and if you look right here, you can see that Morbius has made over $352 more billion. So that's much more billion than Titanic or Avengers Endgame. Ross says they're half and half on this film, but it's just because they couldn't understand cinema. This is the worst rating review you'll see, is 2.5 stars, which is still a perfect grade out of 5. This is actually just legitimately just true right here. You can't deny Morb heads like Cool E, there is a reason this movie sold 69 more billion tickets. This is a masterpiece. There's no other way to say it, honestly. Like, the minority is that this movie is bad. The majority is that this movie is a masterpiece. So if you want to be a Giga Chad, watch this movie. I guess that makes me a Giga Chad because I saw it, so that's cool. Actually, Morbius isn't a movie. It's an experience. I appreciate that. We need to elevate it over just it being cinema. It's peak cinema, honestly. You need to watch Morbius. Watch it in 6K, 90 FPS. That's the best way to do it. With your RTX graphics card on, preferably. And if you don't have one, ask the god that is Morbius, and they will decide your fate. As Morbius has for me. Oh my god. Once you watch this movie, you will gain immortality. That's true. I'm not going to die anymore. I have unlimited Morbillion time on this planet. Life is short, so I've decided to stay in my room with my Morbius Blu-ray and watch it on repeat. To get all the girls, if I could rate something higher than 5 out of 5, it would be this masterpiece. Watch this amazing work of art now. You will not regret it. You won't regret it. I never regretted it. I have not looked back once in my time since I saw the movie Morbius in theaters and thought, oh wow, I wish I didn't see that. I have only thought, I wish I could see it more than I have seen it already. People have nothing but good things to say, honestly. This movie has you invested in Dr. Morbius over the entire 90 minutes, and it tells a great story with a lot of emotions. There's romance in this movie. There's betrayal. There's loss of a best friend. A tragic backstory for Michael Morbius, to be sure. No joke, this movie made me feel things I didn't even know I could feel. It woke up the silent, empathetic voice inside of me. The Rotten Tomatoes official score is wrong. I agree. It should be 200%, and I dare the entire Rotten Tomatoes group to debate me on this. Who is the Rotten Tomatoes group? Who's in charge of that? I read all of the reviews that said this movie is bad, and they are all wrong. I walked into the theater expecting disappointment and left begging for more Morbius. I was on my knees, more begging for more, please. Although the concept of a vampire movie is all that original, this one really stands out from the crowd. I've never seen another vampire movie with such an original plot. The way how he struggles to control his new powers really seems relatable to real people transitioning through life. I love Morbius, and it is definitely worth watching. So one of my favorite things about the movie Morbius, he has this insatiable hunger for blood, but he eats fake blood because he doesn't want to hurt anyone, because that's how much of a Chad Dr. Michael Morbius is, where his beta male friend starts snacking on people left and right. Like, that's how the measure of a true hero is right there, honestly. Cured my depression and cancer. This is crazy, man. The cure for cancer is Morbius, huh? Morbius changed the way I see movies. Sitting down, now I standing. That's true. At the end of the movie, we were all standing because we were giving Morbius a standing ovation because of the phenomenal performances and the epic end credits scene that incorporated Spider-Man villain. Morbius is the best Marvel film I've ever seen and is now my favorite. It used to be Venom. That's fair. That's a good movie. Avengers Infinity War is nothing compared to Morbius. That is so true. The theater was more bussing off. Nay, more bussing it down sexual style. Quirked up, goated with the sauce and all that. The whole theater. The best bit was when he say it's Morbin time. See, everyone knows the best part of the movie is when he goes, it's Morbin time. I'm Morbius. I'm morbing out. So far, I went to the cinema every Friday since its release, and every time he says it, I just sit there and 10 out of 10. Dude, thank you for your opinion, Ninja Pen 05. The most Morbilicious movie of all time. Phenomenal job of bringing this lovable Morby man to life is what Jared Leto does, with excellent delivery on all of his classic phrases, such as, it's Morbin time, and all right, no more BS. Not only that, but Matt Smith was the perfect choice to take the role of Milo in this film. Yeah, did you guys see his dancing? It had me a little bit wet, not gonna lie. His emotional and highly talented performance was amplified by the high-quality special effects and lighting, which really made the movie come to light. Possibly the greatest movies of all time, and it left me wanting even more. Morb F, as in Morb fan. The evidence is stacking. I don't know what the Morbius haters, the Morbius deniers are going to say at this point, but it's not looking good for them. They're going to have to put the final nail in the Morb coffin if they want to stand any chance of stopping the Morb hype from Morbius sweeping the nation. The movie of all time. 100 more billion tickets sold everywhere worldwide. Morbius swept. It's so true. My favorite scene was when he said, stand back, I'm about to morb. I say that literally like every day. I'll just be waking up and I'll be like, get out of my way. I got a morb. I promise you that if you see this movie, you, just like Ernesto Z, will get morbed pretty hard. We have a verified review here. It was okay. Visually loved the way Morbius moved, though. 10 out of 10 on that. Yeah, everyone loves the way Morbius moves. Other than that, this was just okay. Did we see the same movie, Corey? Do I need to take away your verified check? Oh yeah, it's Morbin time! Couldn't have said it better myself. Honestly, they probably had to remain anonymous because they would have gotten too much hate for saying something so bold yet so true. But you can't fall for the critic agenda. They want you to think it's bad because they are against the second coming of Morbius, as in Morbius 2. Morb over, Iron Man. We got a new Morbin town. If we just cross this out, then it's pretty much accurate. There we go. I found a better one. This one is more accurate because they didn't have the typo and accidentally say something bad about Morbius. Morbius morbed every single bad guy, including Anti-Morb, with the help of the Morbius family. Morbia, Little Morb, Morbi. Morb Beast, Morb Dog. Oh, dude, Morb Dog is classic. Morb Cat, Morb Hamster, Morb Snake. Not enough people talk about Morb Goldfish. Morb Parrot, Big Morbius, the Morbius twins, Morbius and Morbius, Daddy Morbi and Mommy Morbius. Which one of your favorite characters is just listed right there? Tell me in the comments. When he said it's Morbin time in the theater, I burst into a frenzy of pure joybius. It's my favorite comic book character had finally been properly adapted into a movie. My good friend, Jared Leto, is friends with Tyler K. Spaghetti profile picture. I became ecstatic as that was the role he was born to play. In the second post-credit scene of Morbius, Dr. Michael Morbius was transported to the future where he sees the Morbius franchise has expanded beyond anybody's wildest dreams. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's so many nice things that this person has to say. In the scene from, spoilers for Multiverse of Madness, but Michael Morbius was a part of the Illuminati. Alongside Dr. Michael Morbius is Walter Hartwell White, Red crewmate from the hit game Among Us, Jesse Pinkman, and Darth Vader. Morbius was such a compelling movie that made me feel more than a more billion emotions all at once during the entire runtime of the feature-length film. The movie was such a critical success that it sold 7 more billion tickets in 3 days. It had a script. It did, though. No CGI. Yeah, Jared Leto did all his own stunts, even turning into smoke and like jumping off buildings and stuff. He's pretty epic. His good friend Jared Leto personally told him at the premiere of Morbius that this was one of the roles in his acting career. He also said that that he would be able to have a small role in the 2060 film Morbinity War and its sequel Morb Game. What is this inside information right now about Morbinity War Morb Game? This movie changed my life. Notice a pattern, how many people have said that? Before I was sad because there was no movie on earth that could satisfy my emotions until Morbius came out in 2022. And when it did, I became filled with joybius and morbsimus. In conclusion, Morbius is the movie and I enjoy it. Oh my god. Dude wrote like a full essay about how great Morbius is. That's crazy. It did enough to make me watch Morbius 2 or look forward to him with other characters in a future movie. Then it did its job. You're a Morb head now. This movie really made me morb my pants. Left me at the edge of my seat, but at the edge of consciousness. Oh, not at the edge of my seat, but at the edge of consciousness. Which was closely followed by Morbius morbing up all the bad guys. A must watch for everyone's bucket list. You need to watch Morbius before you die. Before I kill you. Apparently this is Joe Nuts, and Joe Nuts says Morbius is approved by Joe Nuts, and gave you the AOL thumbs up emoji. Thanks, Joe Nuts. The script is good. There we go. We finally had someone who said it. I watched this movie every 24/7. I like the time when Morbius said it's Morbin time and morbed every people. It was so epic. One word, masterpiece. One word that could be different, Morbius piece. I will be buying Morbius on DVD, and I cannot wait to see the Morbius sequel, The Return of the Morb. Everything about this movie is pure, uncut perfection. If you haven't seen Morbius, a piece of your life is missing. And you have never experienced true joy, perfection. It's Morbin time! Best movie in history of movie! When he said it's Morbin time and then morbed on the 2 girls, 890 more billion out of 10, Morbius sweep. Saul Goodman thought the memes were just memes, but my gosh, I watched it in this theaters for the first time, and I can absolutely tell you, I'm serious when I cream my pants. That's called you morbed. You morbed when he said it's Morbin time. When he says Pilates helps, I thought that was pretty deep, not gonna lie. I haven't stopped buying out entire cinemas just to watch this movie over and over and over again. It'll never get old. It can't get old. It's too fresh. I watch this movie every day with my wife, who goes away whenever I take my pills. I have a Morbius wrapped car. I bought all the merch. I bought practically everything that has to do with Morbius when I walked out of that theater for the first times. Harder than ever. I also recommend buying the CD to show your future children that it's always Morbin time. I believe this movie will save this generation, end world hunger, and solve global warming. Thank you for Morbius Sweep, attorney at law. Everyone is talking about when he says it's Morbin time, but my favorite part was when he screamed, "Stand back, I'm going to Morb!" You could count every star in the sky and every grain of sand before you finish explaining the deep and intricate Morbius lore and its relation to William Afton, the purple guy from FNAF. Look at, there's connections I didn't even realize. And then the audience, the Morbies, realize that it is in fact Morbin time, and then they feel so much warmth and happiness from Morbius. Morbius is the best movie I think I've ever seen, packed with action, emotion, and everything more between. I can't stop watching it. Help me. I don't need to help you. You're already where you need to be. Michael trying to survive in a world of anti-Morbers is my new favorite sentence. I cried so hard when he said it's Morbin time. Overall, Morbius is an absolute must-watch, and also not Venom. That's true. Morbius is not Venom. It's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service. He's not Venom. He was just kidding when he said that. When he said to bats it's lethal, to humans it's deadly, I passed out in the spot. Not even on the spot, in the spot. This is a deleted scene, so this is how you know that they have the Blu-ray of Morbius. It's Morbin time. Obviously, if you see this, it'll change you permanently, and you'll start making money. You'll become a more billionaire. That's all. That's the last thing I say. What the heck is this? This is Morbius. Hashtag the Morbiano. Oh no. A lot of scenes that make me feel Morbiously. Morbius gave me the perfect amount of Morbiosity that I can Morbicidly get. I love when Doctor Strange says it's Morbin time, and then Morbius appears and morbed all the villains. Every single frame of this should be put in a museum. Incredibly iconic scenes and phrases, like it's just endlessly quotable, like up and Morbius, and be Morbius or be square. Better Morbius than never. That's a personal favorite of mine. And the absolute classic, it's Morbin time, which will be going on my tombstone, and also in my wedding vows. I will be naming my first child Morbius. I also enjoyed it when Morbius fought Kim Kardashian. It's pretty neat. It was as if Jared Leto held me in his arms and let me suckle from his bosom when he said it's Morbin time to his arch nemesis, the anti-Morb, and finally morbed 50 guys. I found a new calling in life. Since then, I've made billions with my high-end Morbius discourse. I even pulled my wife's personal trainer / brother / stepdad. Morbius changed my life for the better. I'm sure it will change yours too. I'm literally Jared Leto right now. Awesome. 100% out of 100%. Dr. Michael Morbius, it's Morbin time. Morb heads, let's go. Milo looks like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. It's kind of true. Took my girlfriend to see it, now I'm single. Probably because she left you for Michael Morbius, I'm assuming. I morbed all over my family, oh my god. What the heck is this review? 5 stars. Pilates, I morbed everywhere.